Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel, The Folson Stew.
Yeah.
Today we have something very special for you. We have some special guests that we are going to be introducing to you soon.
Right.
So just stay tuned and be with us.
And if you're new to this channel, you know what to do.
Yep.
Like the video, share it with your friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe.
Hit the subscribe button
Right.
and help us to keep on bringing you more exciting content. So
Right.
stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
All right, so welcome back, and as promised, we are bringing you some special guests today. I'm not going to take the wind out of their sails. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and they are going to be sharing some amazing tips with us that they have learned after 22 years of marriage. I mean, I think that deserves a round of applause.
Yay, 22.
22
I tap
years.
into it.
Yes, that's not an easy feat. So
I'm telling you.
I am going to ask them to introduce themselves, and well, they say ladies first, but this time I'm going to start with the men. So would you please introduce yourself to us?
Well, my name is Pastor Kane Folson.
Yeah.
That's my younger brother right there.
Yes.
That's right. So I've been in our ministry for many years. I started in the church in high school.
Wow.
And I've worked myself throughout, serving in different capacities. Right now, I pastor the Action Church branch in Perry Hall, Maryland.
Yep.
And I'm an engineer by training.
Amazing.
With some business attached to that as well. So that's me.
All right. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Give it up for Pastor Kane.
Pastor Kane Folson. Yes. All right.
All right. So I am Idana Folson, his wife.
Wow.
We've been married for 22 years.
Wow.
I am a financial manager by profession. I work in public service. And when I'm not doing that, I'm being a mom to 2 teenagers. A wife to this pastor here, awesome man of God. And like he said, we are pastoring the Perry Hall branch of Action Chapter International.
Action Chapter International. Wow.
Give it up for Edie. We call her Edie.
Yes,
Edie,
I go by Edie.
Edie for short. Wonderful. So, I mean, today they are just going to be sharing some of their experiences with us. We have some questions that we are going to be asking them, and they are going to be sharing out of their rich experience with us. So please put everything away.
I'm telling
just
you.
focus for the next few minutes, and I'm sure you are going to be blessed. So,
I'm telling you, yeah. So the first question we have is, how did you guys meet, and how long after that did you marry?
So
how did you meet?
I was doing the work of the Lord.
Hey, Pastor King.
So I finished college. I was in Action. I was working, and I was establishing home sales for Action on the campus in the University of Ghana.
Okay.
And I was busy doing the work of the Lord, and some way somehow, as you keep sowing,
the seeds are sprouting.
Yeah, you don't muzzle the ox. So some way somehow, the Lord Himself brought Idana my way.
A beautiful damsel.
Wow. I'm learning one big thing here. Work for the Lord.
Work for the Lord.
Work for the Lord.
Yes.
There is reward in it.
There's a reward.
So let me leave that one there for that. That's how I met her.
Okay. All right. Edie, maybe your perspective.
So like he said, I was a freshman on campus at University of Ghana, and he was the leader of the home care or the home cell that was established on campus, and that's how we met.
Okay.
So we kind of stayed friends over the years. I relocated to the US to continue my tertiary education, and somewhere along the line, after I guess that was about 4 or 5 years later, our friendship just kind of took a different turn, with the help of some friends, of course.
Wow.
And here we are today.
Yeah.
Wow. The friendship took a different turn.
When she said freshman, I remember the term September rush, At the beginning of the term, when the freshmen come, that's when, the senior students are looking for potential among the freshmen. So, but this was working for the Lord. So it's not September rush.
This had nothing to do with
this one is simple. Work for the Lord. I've already told you, just work for the Lord.
That's right.
Amen.
All right.
So, most people say, I was confused. I don't know if he's the one, not the one.
Yeah.
So the next question is, how did you know that Edie was the one ordained for you, Pastor Kane?
So again, I would take it by the spiritual route.
Hey!
Because that is the way it happened. You know? I mean, at first, I really didn't know how to make a choice.
Wow.
Seriously, I was not. I didn't have a formula. I didn't have anything.
Okay.
I was literally blind. Let me say it this way.
Okay.
Meaning I had no criteria.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
and I thought that you would just fall in love, right?
Right.
Which seemed like the logical thing.
Yep.
But here
Romeo
I was,
and Juliet.
and I was
Right.
not falling, or I was not sure. You know, I had many friends, but I just did not know. So I said, look, maybe I should take the route of depending on the Lord. I read a book, and when I read that book, it really told me that I had to depend on the Lord. See, I always thought that God would not give me the best. Somehow before, I couldn't believe that God was so good that He would give me the best wife.
Wow.
I always felt like God would, you know, somehow make me suffer a little, you know.
Yeah.
And so, but after reading that book, my eyes were opened, and then I said, no, I'm going to trust God. So I started praying. And I'm telling you, as I was praying, one night as I was praying,
Wow.
One night.
it's like scales fell off my eyes.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, I saw her, and her name
Wow.
became something special. And from that day, I knew that there was no one else that I wanted to marry except her.
Wow, this is amazing.
I like the scales falling off his eyes because you know sometimes someone can be in your circles and
right.
you are praying, not knowing that person is the
It's in
answer
your
to your prayer.
circle.
So the scales need to fall off your
so
eyes.
that you can see.
You can see.
Instead of seeing
Sorry.
her as trees, you know, as
like the blind man.
like the blind man.
Like the blind man.
I started seeing her as the Lord would have me see her.
Wow. Amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So does Edie have a version or?
Yeah,
Well, I mean, I
you
guess
have a
I'll
version.
tell my side of the story.
Yes.
So, you know, again, it's similar to him. We were in school. We were just kind of serving God, moving along. And when we were in the same vicinity, when I was on the Legon campus, I always used to pray for him and another friend of ours who was his close friend. I used to pray that their wives would be my friends because I wanted to keep these
The
guys
relationship.
That's
as
your friend.
my close friends.
Wow.
And so I was constantly praying for their wives and praying for their wives, and you know, I guess I was praying for myself in essence, but I didn't really know that at the time.
Yeah.
And I always used to pray that I would find somebody like him.
Wow.
Then
And
Edie saw it
so-
first.
So my prayer was always, let me find somebody like him. At the time, we used to call him Teacher Kofi or Bra Kofi.
Wow.
So every time I was praying, I was like, the man I married should be somebody just like him, somebody who loves God, who's humble, who can share the word, who can teach well, you know. And God being so good, you know, like I said, 3 or 4 years later, when we kind of reconnected and the relationship became stronger, I did a lot of praying.
Okay.
You know,
Very
because,
important.
Yes, it's super important. If you're a believer, you cannot make such a decision without prayer.
I love
No.
it. I love
Prayer
it.
and fasting, and you know, making sure that you have an understanding of who the person is. So even as you see them and you may like them, you may like everything you see, but you still have to be confident and have it confirmed in your own spirit that this is the person. Because that confirmation is what is going to carry you when the allure,
You know, right?
you know, kind of, I won't say dries up, but when it kind of like fades a little bit,
Yep.
whenever you have your first argument, it's that confirmation that's going to help you go back and say, look, let's talk this thing out,
Let's work
you
it
know.
out.
Right.
And so I had to spend time on my own, not just my friends saying, oh yeah, he's a good guy, or in some cases, no, we don't know if he's right for you kind of thing. But just seeking the counsel of Holy Spirit and making sure that I was confident myself that this was the person that I wanted to and could marry and could be happy with.
Yeah, so people can advise you, but you need to make
You
the
need
decision
your own,
yourself.
you need
That's
your
right.
own
Conviction.
That's
Yeah.
the word.
Yeah, you need
Thank
to
you.
be
You need
peaceful
your
about
own
it.
conviction.
Right.
You need to have peace about it. If you don't have peace about it, then something is wrong. Take the time you need. Yes, you may have set the
Right.
wedding date
Right.
and all that stuff, but know that you know that that's the right person
Because-
before you,
Yeah.
you move forward.
Because as you were talking, I was thinking about scenarios where people are connected to people. Let's say like your spiritual father or a pastor connect you to someone. People feel obliged to marry them.
Yes.
And so then, even though they are not peaceful about it, they
Yeah.
want to still go
Yes.
ahead and marry.
To please
Yeah, and I feel
whoever
like
did the
Yeah,
recommendation.
so Pastor
or-
Kane, do you have any advice for such people?
I mean, look, when the troubles come, and marriage is, has its
own challenges.
and all that. When the troubles come, you have to have an anchor, right?
Right.
You have to know the day or the time when you knew that
That was the
person
person.
was the one that the Lord had
I love
for you.
it.
Yeah.
You see, because that then always reminds you that you're committed,
Yep.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
So that thing is so important. You have to have that anchor,
Yeah.
right? And then it will be the foundation of your marriage.
I love it.
Awesome.
Powerful.
Wonderful.
There you go.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, I think our next question is
Yep.
what your biggest lessons after 22 years of marriage is?
22. It doesn't really feel like 22.
Wow.
Feels like just yesterday.
Yeah, I mean,
Sometimes it
I mean,
does.
it does, but when you see the kids, then
Okay.
you know that it's not just yesterday, right? And when you see, at times you remember and look at pictures,
Yeah.
like we were looking at,
Yeah,
today,
yeah.
today.
like, wow, look at all that has gone on. But in terms of advice, look, you have to have fun. One of the things that I learned is you have to be friends, right?
Right.
Yeah,
And
friendship.
Friendship is very important.
Really
Common
important.
interests are very important. Planning
Common
together,
interest.
executing, praying together,
Right.
taking yourselves as a team. And the world out there is what you guys are fighting against to make sure that you get your marriage to be fruitful and prosper. That is the excitement that comes with marriage. Praying and seeing results,
Right.
right? Seeing things working out,
Right.
and then having fellowship with yourselves and other friends. All these things are things that I think help to enrich the marriage. You know? There are many other things that we've learned together, but the key thing I think is depending on God, working as a team, and really celebrating our successes.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like the
Wow.
working as a team bit, and that's something that I always, tell Asantua that look, we are a team.
Yeah.
We
That's
are.
right.
I tell her, thank you for being a good team player.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because we are a team, right?
Oh,
It's,
a team.
it's not me against you or you against me.
No.
That's right.
I'm not trying to outdo you or outshine you. I mean,
That's
whatever
right.
your successes are, my successes too. So
Right.
let's work together as a team to, really win for everyone and win for
Right.
the family.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
that's
it
awesome.
exactly. I mean, unity is a thing. So you are one. When you make that covenant of marriage, you become one.
Yeah.
And so whatever she does that is great is your win as well.
Yeah.
And whatever you do that is great is her win as well.
Right.
And when as a couple you can understand that, then you begin to help each other more. That outdoing, that competition kind of
Yeah.
goes away.
Yes.
And it can be dicey, especially when you're both in ministry. It can get very interesting.
Okay.
But as long as the two of you remember that unity is the most important thing.
Yeah.
In terms of things that I have learned, I've learned pretty much that as human beings we're not robots. We don't as we were formed, we don't stay exactly that way.
We change.
We change over time. And after 22 years of marriage, there are still layers that we are learning about each other. Not that they were not always there. Some of them were always there. It just never came out till now. But our life experiences and what we've gone through, and our life together has also kind of like modified who we are as a person. And so how we relate to each other has changed. How I talk to him now is not how I used to talk to him 22 years ago.
Yes.
But you learn the person, you learn how to make an impact, you learn when's the best time to communicate. You learn when they're not speaking. Is it because they're angry or they're introspective? They are praying. What is behind
these
it?
spiritual
you know?
people?
So
We are praying, cry. We have to discern it.
you have to discern. You know, but that, to me, that's one of the biggest things. I think unity. And then remembering that the person has changed, and so that some people tend to have like I won't say a false, but an unfair expectation that the person should remain as
how
they
were
when
from the very beginning.
From the very beginning, but the person is growing, maturing. Things that happen at work may impact how they think, you know, and how they relate to you. So getting to know them in their new self is very, very important. You know,
their
and
new face.
Their new face is very important.
And just to add a little bit more, just a few other things. Flexibility.
That's very
being adaptable. And then working to improve your marriage. Finding tools out there which work and adding them to your marriage, right? Planning things together. You know, there are children. I mean, there are so many things, but I would say some of those are the key things. It's not a competition.
Right.
And everybody has to bring in their 100%.
Right.
It's not 50. It's
100.
equals 100.
Equals 100.
That's God's math.
Absolutely.
So guys, it's not a competition. Whatever success is coming to the same house, right? And so don't be competing. That's key.
Everyone's success is celebrated by everyone.
Right.
Yep. Okay.
So my next question is, what have been some of your challenges and how have you overcome them? 22 years.
22 years
marriage.
I'm sure I've probably seen a lot of challenges.
I guess I'll start this time.
Okay.
I think one of the biggest challenges for us has always been juggling the different balls.
Okay.
You know, we have career. We are both professionals.
Okay.
We had children. We had ministry. We had family.
Yeah.
You know, we had friends and relationships and things like that. We've had a few minor illnesses over the years, but those are all what I consider like to be our challenges.
Yeah.
Again, the biggest thing is being united and having a plan. You know, so we developed a plan for managing the children. Every week we have a day where we meet, and we still meet, you know, once a week, and we organize a schedule. Who's doing what for every single thing? Who's giving them a bath? Who's dropping them off? Who's picking them up? What day do you have to work late? What day do I have to work late? Those types of things. So we organize our whole week that way. And that's how we overcame that challenge of, you know, raising and managing the children. When it came to ministry, it was figuring out how we could pray consistently together. Because one of the biggest things the enemy does not want is unity. We keep coming back to that word. Unity is very important for a Christian couple. And the devil will fight every attempt you have to pray together. When you pray together, you get stronger. When you pray together, you are more insulated against his attacks. And so he will put everything that he can. He'll throw everything to prevent you from praying. So even if you have to pray get up at 3 o'clock in the morning just so the two of you can have that prayer time together, that's what you have to do. You know? So you figure out how to do that. I'll let you talk about other challenges.
I mean, challenges, some of them have been, you know, juggling all the things together. And look, there are phases. So we've had our phases in life. You know, there are times when a career has taken off faster. There are times mine has taken off, right? So it's been back and forth. And the ability to manage the change, you know, is one of the challenges. And the ability to know things that matter and things that don't matter. The ability to be able to you know, take things which are not a big deal, you know, as what they are, you know, and not being picky about so many things. Being very, very flexible, and you know, and then also scheduling time to communicate. You know, so we say we communicate. You can communicate while you're driving and all that, but you have to schedule a time to communicate. And a time to plan, right?
Intentional.
So, because the schedules have been very challenging, right? That's been one of the challenges. Another thing also has been just how to grow together, right? And being able to give everybody room to grow, right, on their own. So your personal growth, our growth together as a family, how to put that whole thing together, right? So in the nutshell, how to get God to be number one, do everything you got to do, still continue to grow professionally as a family and as individuals.
Right. I think you learned the scheduling thing from
Yes,
Pastor
so
Kane,
I was
right?
going to say that, you know, I learned the scheduling thing from Pastor Kane. So as he was
Time,
talking,
let's
like,
schedule
I
what,
realized that a lot of the things that we are doing, it's like we learned it from him.
Don't be shy to copy.
Yes,
You have to copy.
We copied it and it's like it's working.
It's
so
working, yeah.
Excellent.
yeah, I mean
At
it's
my work,
good to.
we have a phrase we say steal shamelessly. So we
Yes.
steal best
That's right.
practices shamelessly.
Exactly.
So feel free
Yeah.
to take
Yeah.
anything from here and use it to bless your life.
Yeah. I think you already answered the
Answered
first
the
thing that
question.
was going to come
Maybe we
after,
should
so
go-
I'm going to skip that.
Maybe we should
Or-
go deeper into it as to how they practically do it. So
Okay, so this question is, how have you balanced the different demands of life? So
Yeah.
family, ministry, work.
Yeah.
I think Edie answered.
yeah. So
Kind
into
of-
details, how do you do your
Into
scheduling? What tools
details.
do you use?
Yes.
Tricks
So
and tips.
one of the things I realized was that, you know, the system we used was homegrown. One day I was praying and the Holy, because I've always wanted our marriage not to improve and not to be stagnant.
Yeah.
And
I love
I
it.
read a lot, right? I read management books, self-help books. I read the scriptures, everything. Books written by Christian authors. But I read a lot, and one day, I was like, look, there are tools we use in corporate,
Yeah.
which makes them extremely profitable, right? And these are best practices that Fortune 50, Fortune 100 companies use.
Yeah.
And they
Okay.
are top notch. Why don't we incorporate some of these tools into our
Your home,
marriage?
yeah.
So we started by using our, calendars.
Calendars,
right?
yeah.
Scheduling things on our calendar.
And it's free
And
to
it's
use.
free, yes. And then we had many generations of paper systems with Excel spreadsheets and
Right.
things we use, and pre-printed, right?
Yeah.
Make it easy. We try to make it as easy as possible,
Right.
and then schedule a time. That was very difficult, trying to find the best time, but it involves sacrifice. So we all had to sacrifice and find a time. There are times when we had to change because things change. But again, I was talking about being very flexible.
Right.
Yeah.
So we managed it. I realized that we had 9 or 10 calendars.
Wow.
The calendar of the children's games, the
yeah.
children's school, my work calendar, church calendar,
Yes.
church calendar, school calendar, because we all did advanced degrees in there. I mean, we
It's a
had
lot.
almost 10
Different
plus calendars.
things happening.
And all those things, we had to bring each of them there to plan for a week,
Wow.
plan for a month. So the Lord gave us grace, and we were able to use these things to go through those times. And we're still using it.
Yeah.
I think
Wonderful.
in terms of balance, just to add to what he said,
Yes.
one of the biggest things is, if you all remember the story about the rocks and the stones and the gravel and the sand,
Yeah.
is you put the rocks in first. So that's the priority. God first, then your spouse, then the family, then your church work. And to me, church work is different from my relationship with God.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people try
Yeah.
to
Put the
make
two of
it
them
the
together.
same. But what I have to have a solid, strong relationship with God for
Right.
my church work to matter.
I love it.
And so those are the building blocks in that order. So you put in the rocks, then you find space for the smaller gravel,
things, the
and
less
then the
important
sand
things.
fits in,
Yeah.
and
Right.
everything fits.
Right.
But if you put the sand in first, you never get the big rocks in there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the philosophy that I have had, and that we've kind of used is, and initially it was kind of interesting because he would say something like, well, the children are that part of the outside, and I'm thinking, yeah, family, what do you about the outside? But I had to realize that this here is the core team.
Okay.
Us and God is the initial, and then the
Yeah.
children, and then the other things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
once I
okay,
started
get
making
it.
those priorities better, or realigning my priorities, things began to fit.
Nice.
And we, by the grace of God, we've made it
This far.
Yeah, this far by grace. Yes, wonderful. Okay.
Wow, I'm learning so much. I really love the rock analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's powerful.
Focus on the big things first.
Yeah,
Right,
so next is, what do you do together for fun? Like, talked about the family, the ministry, all the work, and what do you do for fun?
Some of the most beautiful ones have been our vacations.
Vacations.
Planning and
Executing the vacations
Guys.
and the various events various things that we plan during the year. Together with the children or with others. Those have been fun because you plan it, you go, you do it, you are enjoying it. It's so great. The other thing also is seeing your prayers answered.
Wow.
Right? When we pray together and we have specific things that we ask God about,
right.
and we see them happening, and then seeing God opening doors and opportunities that you didn't even fight for,
Wow.
right? And they also just come. So that whole journey, brings fun. Other practical things are we have movies that we watch,
Right.
yes,
Movie nights.
Sometimes we plan deliberately, and like on a Friday we'll each leave work a little early,
Nice.
meet up at a restaurant and have like a late lunch and just
Wow.
yeah.
and then come home afterwards.
And during the summer, at times, I would leave and go to her work place, and then we go have lunch together. So at various phases, during phases of the season, we have our little things that we do.
Right.
And of course, we have the things that we do with the children, the events, the museums,
The trips,
and
sightseeing.
we have a routine we have, with
I
them.
love it.
And then the
Routine.
travels we've done, like overnight trips.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yes, where we plan start at 10 p.m. We know how we're gonna stop. We know, all those things, and we look forward to them.
Yeah. Guys, so don't just be spiritual, because as you can see, Pastor Kane is really spiritual, but they take time for vacations and
Plan
all
for
that.
it. It's
So
part of
don't
their
just
schedule.
be spiritual. Every day praying, we really pray, but you also need to take time to do some fun
Other
stuff.
things, to
Wow.
enrich your relationship and your family
Exactly.
life.
It's
Yeah.
very important.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you're just starting out and maybe you don't have a budget and you can't really travel, you can travel at home. Your little apartments can become a different place.
I love
Today
this.
we are going to, I don't know, Morocco or
Wow.
whatever it is. Find a recipe
Wow.
for a Moroccan dish
Wow.
and
Oh,
cook
my
it,
goodness.
and that's your evening.
Yeah.
If it's just the two of you. If you have kids, maybe they might not like the Moroccan food, so you can, pizza or something
This
else.
one is
but,
from experience.
you can make fun for yourself right where you are, so you don't have to travel. Make your living room a tent. Make a tent in the living room with blankets or whatever.
Arabian tents in the desert.
So you can figure out things to do that won't cost too much for now. But just be imaginative and look online. There are so many different options and things out there. And if all else fails, just reach out. We'll give you some tips.
Yes. Nice. Yes. Reach out.
Yeah, so that the marriage is not boring.
Because
some life.
after 22 years, there should still be life in the marriage.
Oh,
And excitement.
Yeah. It takes a lot of work to keep a marriage going.
Yeah.
We've heard the analogy, even just yesterday, I don't remember who was preaching, but the person said that if you leave a fire in the fireplace unattended all night, it's going to go out.
Yeah. You need to be putting
to
in.
keep putting in more wood. You have to keep fanning it. If those of us who grew up in Africa, in the not in the cities, you have your firewood. You sit there and fan, or your charcoal pot. You sit there and fan, and that's what keeps the
fire burning.
Yeah, and your arm will be falling off, but your mommy will say, keep fanning.
Keep
fanning.
So that mentality is what you have. You have to keep fanning your marriage, and we fan it with the word of God, but we also fan it with talking to each other, maintaining communication, not harboring hurts and pains, talking things out, forgiving each other,
and praising each other.
Yes, and also praising each other, showing acknowledgement and appreciation to each other. It's very
Complimenting.
important. So
Don't pretend like you haven't seen.
Yes.
Yeah, acknowledge
also-
things people
Yeah,
do.
and also, I mean, we keep finding new ways. I mean, these days we walk together.
Okay.
So that's
Yes.
something new that we
Right,
started.
yeah, you were
we
sharing
had
in the morning.
Yeah, we had wanted to do it for so long. And one of the things, sometimes when you have fun things and the other person doesn't enjoy, you pray that they will enjoy
They
it.
will
Okay.
enjoy it.
You know,
Shared enjoyment.
yeah, and
Right.
also look for different and pray for
Something that
different
both
ways.
of you
both of
will
you can,
enjoy.
you know, and look, they will come out and learn from others as well.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Right.
see what others are doing.
Oh yeah.
Right.
We know
Powerful.
we've learned a lot from you guys.
Oh
so
yeah. Oh yeah.
definitely there's still a lot to learn. So
Uh-huh.
get in touch. Yeah, get in touch for more tips.
Yeah. For more tips.
Right. Awesome.
And last question is, what advice do you have for single people, young couple?
Yep.
Yeah. After 22 years of marriage.
Yes.
So I guess I'll start with the singles. You know, there's a verse in the Bible, and I don't remember exactly where it is, but it basically implies that being single is a gift, you know, and being married is also a gift.
Yeah.
And so even in your single state, if your desire is to get married, be assured that God already knows that. He knows the desires of our hearts. And so if your desire is to get married, your job right now is just to keep praying to God, give him that desire.
Right.
He already knows, but you can formally give it to him and say, Lord, I'm looking to you to meet this desire or to fulfill this desire of mine as I serve you. You know, and when you make God again your priority, your big stone, you do that, you will find the person, you know, or you will be found, because I believe in the woman being found.
Yes.
But either way, the desires of your heart, you know, if you trust in God, He will give you the desires of your heart. So that's what I want to encourage single people to do, if that is your desire. And for young people starting off, again, you know, just learning each other, learning who each other really is, because as much time as you spend together before you're married, it's when you are living in the same house together for a prolonged time that you really see the person.
Please.
Louder. Where's the microphone?
Louder. Eh?
Louder.
So
For the people at the back to hear.
Yeah, so being aware that, like I said before, people change, people grow, you know, and the person that you marry at the age of 25, 27, even 30 or 40, when you are 50 and 60, that's not the same person. They've changed.
Wow.
So you want to make allowance for that, and still believe that God has your best interest at heart, you know.
Powerful.
And He will see you all through.
Great. I think for the young people, I mean, you should enjoy good Christian guy, enjoy your life, go on dates.
Okay.
You know, have fun. Enjoy.
Don't be too spiritual.
You know, yes, you know, it's fun when you are young and you don't have too many responsibilities.
Right.
You know, just do that and keep praying. Don't postpone your prayer for the person. And as you pray, open your eyes. So, yes, the singles.
Watch and
The
pray.
singles,
Pastor King,
watch and
that's how
pray.
we say
Yes.
that one.
So the singles, watch and pray, but pray and trust God that God has the right person for you. Don't get
Hallelujah.
discouraged. You know,
Thank you, Lord.
we've seen many people who never thought that their person was. Sometimes here in America, they were like, "Look, we can't find people here." You know, God has worked wonders and found people for them, and they are very happy today.
Right.
So pray, do the work of God. Keep your eyes open. Go to places where you know young people are, events, and things like that, and don't isolate yourself.
Isolate yourself.
So do that and enjoy and be busy for God and be busy doing what God has planned for you, your professional work as well. And then God Himself will give you what you need. For the young couples, you're starting off, enjoy your life plan together. Start early, plan your finances well. Don't make mistakes early.
Okay.
There are some mistakes that you may make early, and 20-25 years you'll be like, why did I make this dumb mistake?
Wow.
Right? It's very, very important. Learn very early about finances, and learn very early about investing. Learn very early about
Retirement.
learn about taxation. Learn, just go all out and learn, plan together, work for God, and then as you plan together, have a future that you are planning together as far as you can think, right? Set goals, right? Set attainable goals, smart goals, as they call it, and work towards them. And as you see a goal being achieved, it gives you more joy, it gives you some joy and the confidence to go on to do more. Be very careful about competing against each other. It is a cancer. It's a very, very dangerous thing, because at some point, you could be, if somebody's career takes off faster or somebody's idea takes off faster, it could cause a problem.
Some kind of friction.
Yes. So always remember that your home is the anchor, right? And your home is your number one ministry. Outside your personal ministry with God, the home, you and your wife, is the personal one you have to keep solid. No matter where you go on around the world, no matter what you achieve, make sure you and your wife, your commitment is solid. Early in your marriage, commit to that, so that when you become big one day in the future, you will still have that anchor, and you will not, your home will still be intact.
Wow. I think we have to give a round of applause. This is deep. This is really profound and, heavy nuggets.
Yeah.
Heavy nuggets, which I think that if any of you listening would take to heart and pray about it and commit to God, it should work. So,
should work.
Maybe did you want to say?
Yes, I just had one thing. I just feel led to say this. If you are watching this and you are married and you are not experiencing that fulfillment, or things are not going well, go back to the source. The two of you commit to start praying together, even if it's just 5 minutes together a day, 10 minutes together a day, and then remind yourselves, what did you see in that person when you first met? What drew you to them?
Exactly.
What does God have in store for them? Try to see that person as God sees them. To me, that's kind of like a way that you can kind of get that spark back. But make sure you are again fanning the spark, and every day remind yourself about minimum of 2 things that are great about that person does well. And if you do that to each other and keep telling them, that's a way that I think you can begin to get that unity back.
Rekindle the flame.
Rekindle the flame in essence. So all the best.
Edie, I really love what you said. It means that there's still hope even for people who are probably not experiencing it now. She said go to the source, and the source we all know is God. So
the original architect and creator of the institution of marriage. And the family. So thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you so much.
This has been really profound, and I'm sure there are many nuggets that you have dropped that taking off on each one of them is going to bring about amazing results. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for joining.
We want to thank Pastor Kane and Idana for sharing this with us and coming on the channel to also share their experiences. So if you're out there, maybe you have a question, yes, we can connect you to them. So let us know in the comments what you think. If you have any questions that you also have, drop it in the comments, and don't forget to keep liking the video, sharing this video,
sharing your friends,
finally subscribing to the channel,
guys.
to the channel. So thank you very much. Please stay tuned for the next episode right here on the Folson's Tube. Bye.